Okay, we are recording. Never use floating point implementation to represent your currency values. This is one of my favorite topics, and I've been bitten many times by it. And I just wanted to share an experience. Recently, JavaScript stole 1 cent from me, and I thought it might be an interesting story to share. Don't use floating point numbers and implementation to represent your currency values. It just doesn't work. Most of all, you won't know that when it exactly doesn't work until it's too late. Talking about currencies and floating point numbers, you might say, Arash, I already know that. I always convert the currencies into integers, and from then on, all the mathematical operations on that amount of money will be in integer form, and we know how it works, and it should be okay, and it won't. We don't have to deal with all the quirks of IEEE 754, which is a standard for the floating point mathematical operations. And I say good for you. Cast the currencies with decimal points into integers helps to mitigate many of the problems that we know. For example, we know that if we just have, for example, 10 cents and add it to 20 cents, we won't get 30 cents. But if we cast them to integers, then it will be 10 plus 20, and then we know that it works properly. But converting this operation that converts this floating point number to this integer can be tricky. And let me ask you that, how are you going to do that? So you might say that, okay, I'll have a simple function like this. Convert amount, which takes an amount as a string. Turn that amount into number and then multiply it by 100. What we expect is that, for example, for something like this, we get 10. We just get rid of all the numbers after the decimal point. So just let me copy this. Go to here in the REPL and then paste this function so that we can use it. Convert amount. 10 cents. It should be a number, it should be a string, not a number. Okay, we get 10. And it works on multiple different values. If we try $10.15. So it all works okay. And the code is rather straightforward, as you can see. And you might think that, okay, it's fine, it's working, there's no problem. Until you reach two numbers like this. 283 and 85. Yep. Interesting, no? So as you can see in here, the conversion multiplication by 100 doesn't give you an exact amount. One solution for this so as you can see, we're still in the floating point realm, and we have all the peculiarities that exist in this area. So one thing we can do is that we can say math.floor to make sure that now we will go into the integer realm. But then on the other hand, let me just show you something else, that if I convert amount 84. Okay. So this is interesting because now if we use our math.floor here, the number that we expect is 28384. But then we get 28383. And in here, as you can see, actually I'm losing 1 cent. And the JavaScript is stealing 1 cent from me. So never ever try to mix floating point numbers and currencies. Try to avoid it at all cost. In future videos, I'll try to explain that why it happens and how can you avoid it.